Hello, let's take a look at today's price action with the market recap, starting with indices, commodities, crypto, movers and shakers of the day. I'm Chart Gal Lori, and I have been a trader and technical analyst for the last 8.5 years. Matter of fact, this is who I am. I am Chart Gal Lori. You can give me a follow on X. That'd be great. So we're going to actually start with game because it was a game show today, just complete volatility. It was tons of volatility as bulls were rushing in after Kitty announced a $200 million position. And then Portnoy, he tweeted that he was with Kitty on this large position and he was bullish. I'm going through the news right now. And then E-Trade is threatening to remove Kitty from their platform. And then Andrew Leff from Citron, he came out and said he's short GameStop. So lots of news headlines, lots of volatility. The volatility kind of dried up midday and then it re-entered here, had a big bounce. The volume today was about 3.5 times normal. This is not close to the volume that we had in 2021, so just remember that. We had a lot more elevated volume then and more volatility. And I know you're thinking, more volatility than this? Yes, we had more volatility than that. And then AMC had a sympathy bull move along with GameStop. They're up 11%. They didn't have any news that I could find, but it was just up in sympathy. All right, now let's go dig into the indices. So we have a potential weekly bull flag. Friday, we bounced from the 0.382 area of this potential bull flag. And then we also bounced, the confluence was the daily 50 MA right there. And that's where we bounced from. We had a gap up open on SPY today. We gave a lot of it back. Let's look at it here. We gave a lot of the move back on this gap up, but I would say that bulls finish in a very respectable way. I would still anticipate a lower high compared to today's high because this was about a 62% retrace from the low of Friday to the high of today. So tomorrow, I think that bears could be looking at top fish as long as 529.31 holds as resistance. Speaking of tomorrow, we have JOLTS data tomorrow. That is a big one. We have Fed Powell has mentioned it several times that he has a lot of emphasis on this data. So just remember that. And we have FOMC next Wednesday. And looking at overall indices, we had healthcare was a little green, shining light. NVIDIA was green. And then we had the energy names that were terribly red. Oil just kind of fell apart. Let's go look at oil. Right there. So oil, we're down almost 4%. We had an OPEC meeting yesterday. I hardly ever read those headlines. I just knew that it was yesterday. We talked about this megaphone last week on the pregame show in the chat room. On my market recap video, we had this higher high, lower low, higher high, lower low, higher high, and none of these had follow through. And then finally, we're getting the bear break with follow through and volume on oil. So oil definitely pulled down XLE with it today with this big move down. We are not oversold on the daily. We are looking for a monthly higher low, but we're not oversold on the daily. And just remember that oil can get a lot more extended than you think it can. All right, going back to the indices, NASDAQ. NASDAQ also bounced from the daily 50 MA on Friday and the 0.382 area, 18,293, keeping a weekly bull flag alive. They also had a respectable close. We got back over Friday's high. That's impressive. So this green line is Friday's high, and QQQ closed over that. So that's a good stand by the bulls. Well, SPY did too. Yeah, good stand by the bulls. All right, Russell was a disappointment. On the Russell, we're looking for a 4-hour lower high. This box, I just have it there in an arbitrary area to remind me that we are looking for a 4-hour lower high due to the size of this pullback. We gave back almost 70% of the move from Wednesday's low to today's high. So on RTY, the Russell, we got a daily higher high, and then we gave a lot of it back with a big upper wick of profit taking. The bulls could not hold on to the gains there, and we're closing with a potential hourly bear flag. On the Dow, we have been talking about this daily lower high being the more likely scenario. Again, I draw that box to remind me that's what we're looking for. Well, today we got an hourly downtrend here. And so that daily low or high is likely set now. I think this bounce is decent. We're making enough room for a higher low, but notice the volume on this bounce. It's not what bulls would like to see. They would want to see more. Typically, we had some hedging going on into Jolt's data tomorrow. We have 4-hour downtrend remains with a big upper wick of profit taking. 1284 is the key support. However, bulls are still looking for a daily higher low on the VIX. So we can't forget that. But VIX doesn't always follow the most likely scenarios because fear can exit just as fast as it came in. So it doesn't always follow these technical patterns as nicely as we would like for them to. On the 4-hour, we're looking for a higher low on Bitcoin. Bitcoin had a great day, up 2%, got over the daily resistance. And we've bounced enough on the 4-hour to make room for a higher low. This upper wick is not ideal, but I would say that bulls will take it. And I just put, again, this box is in an arbitrary space. I put it over yesterday's high in that area. Bulls are looking for that 4-hour higher low. Coin had a green day. With Bitcoin having a green day, it was very comparable with Bitcoin. I wouldn't say it had a killer day. It pushed up early and then gave a lot of it back. MSTR is the name that really stood out today, that took advantage of Bitcoin's strength and then some. So Bitcoin's up 2%. MSTR is up almost 3.5 times that. So MSTR bulls really putting on a show here. You could possibly put that on back burner watch tomorrow if we'll have to see what Bitcoin's doing. So I'll look at that again tomorrow. Actually, I don't like that back burner. We're in a daily downtrend. I will rescind that comment. Riot was very weak. We have the dollar testing weekly support 104.08, 104.08. And then after that, you're looking down at 103.88. The dollar is weak. We're approaching the weekly 50 MA. We've been rejecting from the daily 50 MA, and this will likely have consequences and volatility from Jolts tomorrow. And Jolts is at 10 a.m., 30 minutes after the market opens. I always factor that in to my opening trades. I want to make sure that I size down a bit with Jolts coming on after the market opens. Gold is holding the daily 50 MA. We have enough room for a 4-hour higher low on a pullback. I think that could be a decent trade. Also, gold could be impacted tomorrow by Jolts and will likely be impacted. So remember that. Oil, we looked at, it's super weak, but I'm not interested in oil long until it gets daily oversold. And then I will still be measuring whether it's worth it. We have a daily bull flag on NVIDIA, confirms if it gets a new all-time high. It held up very well today, punishing the bears. It had a $1,500 upgrade from Bank of America and an AI headline, just super bullish. And when it popped up over the high of day, that helped SPY and QQQ get a run into close. Comparing SMCI and NVIDIA, SMCI was definitely weaker. It had a nice close, though. That 15-minute bounce was decent. I was noting some hourly RSI bullish divergence where was it 4-hour? Sorry about the background noise. Yeah, 4-hour bullish divergence where RSI was making higher low and price was making lower low, and that played out a bit in the end of the market. We are looking for a weekly higher low on SMCI. All right, Apple had a great day. Closing green, up 1%. Gave a lot of the morning move back, but I wouldn't say that this is anything to hang your head about. I think it was a really good move. Amazon finally bouncing, running into the hourly 50 MA, the Great Wall of Louisiana, and getting karate chopped to the throat, unable to get through that. So we'll look for a potential pullback on Amazon. Odds favor a higher low on the 4-hour with the size of this bounce. Tesla, I still am watching Tesla. I took a long on it today at market open. I sold half up into this pop, and then I sold the second half for a loss after it lost 177.25. Overall red on the trade. It was a live stream trade. I'm just was looking for that pop over 180. We got the pop, and then it quickly came back in. We have this daily and 4-hour tightening range, getting very interesting top watch for me tomorrow. Cannabis names all just got whacked today. TCNNF I had an alert set for this $9. We held the $9. We got a double bottom in that area. That is a number from back in March. Yep, from March. We're still in a weekly downtrend. These cannabis names are getting no love and will likely get no love until we get some news. XLF with a double top. We have a potential monthly bull flag, and we got a daily inside bar and a double top, 4168, 4168. And we held support. We got a double top and a double bottom. That makes it clear going into tomorrow on XLF. XLV was super strong today, holding up the market in some places. We are looking for a daily higher low on a pullback, maybe to the daily 50 MA, but that is a very nice bounce on healthcare. I just wanted to mention, Lulu, that they have earnings this week. Abercrombie and Fitch, we're looking for a daily higher low. I've been waiting for that back burner on the hourly chart and just haven't gotten it. Bulls are showing no desire to let it get that low, so I'll keep it on watch. ELF, I got asked about it this morning at the market open, and I said I like it for the gap rules. If we hold over Friday's high, that is a long signal, and you could look for a long, and that played out pretty well. NVAX, just a huge biotech move today, and XBI had a 2.5% move. So XBI benefited from some of these biotech names that were running pretty hard. I would put NVAX on watch tomorrow for a back burner. And speaking of healthcare, Lilly, new all-time high today. Just an absolutely gorgeous chart. You want to take that chart home to mom. I'm telling you, beautiful. XBI still got an upper wick of profit taking, and we have enough room. An hourly lower high is the more likely scenario tomorrow due to the size of this pullback. So this may be an interesting top fish against $93. And we covered game and all of the headlines. We closed pretty weak considering the very large move that we had in the after the before hours session, which is up before hours, before market open. And that's an easier time to run price because you don't have the halts. It's harder to run price like that during regular trading hours because of halts. Speaking of halts, that NYSE glitch today on CMG, SMR, Barrett Gold was incredible. I've never seen anything like that. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, I don't know if they fixed the charts. Look at that. $9 stock down to 13 cents. CMG, Berkshire, same thing. Gold, Barrett Gold happened there as well. Big down move. They cleaned up that chart though. Yep, they cleaned it up. All right, that is it for the market recap. Thanks for joining me. I appreciate it, and use stop losses.